someone said that freaking Panera's Pepsi's taste funny.
Better.
No, I mean,
What? Welcome, everybody, to the Average Intelligence Podcast. As always, I'm your friend, your pal, your amigo, as it were. And then I'm joined by my partner in crime, my dear good friend for many actual decades, literal decades, my bromigo. And actually, the inspiration behind this podcast and its mascot. So, as you can see, are
He's the bromigo.
the bromigo, the brotato chip. As you can see,
All right. I just want to get
sure they can
chat.
hear you.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep. Cool. We have audio. So this podcast is brought to you tonight by our friends at Vizard.ai, quite literally, and by Nomad Internet. And before we dive into the topic at hand, I have a couple of fuck ups that I need to address on my part. In the last episode, what did I say? I said that the peace deal would likely apply to Yahya Sinwar. I was thinking of somebody else whose name escapes me because Yahya Sinwar is dead. So that peace deal would absolutely not apply to him. And then what else did I fuck up? I was literally thinking about it, and I lost it. But
Accountability. I
I
like
made
that.
I made another mistake. Damn it! What did I?
Your
I
camera
know.
just
I
zoomed in
saw it.
on
I
your
saw it.
face.
It's like introspection.
That was so good. It was like deep
And
thoughts.
hmm hmm. I don't know. I'm sure I'll think of it. But when I do remember it, I will address it. But
Oh,
so
that was
today,
so
I know it
perfect.
was great. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, "That's awesome." It keeps turning itself
Anyway,
on, so I think I'm just gonna leave it. Just gonna leave it alone.
I wonder if
So
I can have that.
it's a feature that's on. If you've got the latest version, could it
I
should
don't
be a
know.
thing you can do. What did I say? Because I did. I remember, and I think I at the time I was like, oh, I remember now. I said that Saudi Arabia had signed on to the peace agreement. That is not true. They have not yet. However, they have been supportive of it, but they have not actually signed on. So that was the other thing. So I fucked up and I apologize. But like I said, so today we're talking about Maria Corina Machado, who actually won the Nobel Peace Prize this year. And, Donald Trump, we've been over Donald Trump's contributions and logic behind him. I'm not surprised they didn't give it to him.
The
We have,
Nobel Peace Prize was stolen from me. I can't do. I can't do it.
here's the Nobel Peace Prize. It was stolen. It was stolen by a dirty South American. No, um, taking American jobs. It's not an
They're
American job.
taking our job.
They
Do,
took
do,
our
do.
jobs. That
They took
episode,
our jobs.
every couple of years, it comes back into the zeitgeist for good reason. But so I gotta say, I like most Americans, I had no idea who Machado was until I looked her up, and I gotta say, they both deserved it. I see why they gave it to her. But make no mistake, because I've seen on the internet a lot of people were like, "Oh, but it's not robbery because this woman is a legitimate badass, and I have video evidence." But
Are you gonna
anyway,
play it?
I will. Yeah, I'll get that. I couldn't believe it. I watched it, and my jaw almost hit the floor. I was like, "Wow, really?" I'll put it to you this way: she puts her money where her mouth is, or she puts her body where her mouth is. You'll understand that reference in a moment. But so basically, just some background on who she is. So, fairly normal life, came from an upper middle class family, but in 2002, she she co-founded an NGO focused on electoral transparency and citizen oversight called Sumate. Uh, that organization helped organize a 2004 recall referendum vote against President at the time Hugo Chavez, accusing the government of fraud, because this story of her is going back decades.
Dude.
So this is back in 2004, a full 21 years ago. They accused Chavez of treason for receiving U.S. grants via the National Endowment for Democracy. Oh no, I'm sorry. I said accountability. She was accused by Chavez for treason for receiving U.S. grants via the National Endowment for Democracy. And then we jump ahead, and my notes literally said it cemented Machado's national image as a pro-democracy activist and a thorn in Chavismo's side, which Chavismo is just that Chavez. Chavismo, which is just that sort of political ideology, the socialistic that Nicolas Maduro is now, because he was Chavez's, protege. All that good stuff. So fast forward to 2010s, she leaves the NGO to run for the Venezuelan National Assembly under an opposition coalition called Mesa de la Unidad Democrática, which is literally the table for United Democrats.
That was excellent dictation.
I try. She won the highest individual vote total nationwide. Their elections are a little bit different from ours. If I remember correctly, they have like rounds. But the thing that the average American needs to understand is that she won a lot of votes, like record-setting amount of votes. So she won, and her term lasted 3 years. She advocated for free market reforms, decentralization of the government, and separation of powers of the government. And this is the badass moment that I found. So she publicly confronted Hugo Chavez in 2012 over property seizures and executive overreach in a televised exchange. And I found part of that televised exchange, and I apologize in advance because I used our friends over at Visitor.ai. They have a feature that will auto-translate videos for you and auto-subtitle them. It's hard to understand her at certain points because there's a lot of background chatter, so it's not a perfect translation, but you get the idea, and I'm going to play that for you right now.
El debate, pero todavía no.
No, presidente.
A ver.
Presidente, tenemos 8 horas
¿8?
Escuchando
Ajá.
usted describir un país muy distante del que estamos sintiendo todas las mujeres y las madres venezolanas. Hemos llegado al extremo. Hemos llegado
Por favor.
Al extremo de escuchar que hay aumento en la producción de leche. Cuando usted sabe que hoy en día hay mujeres, madres, que asisten a bodegas, a automercados y han llegado a la fuerza por 1 litro de leche porque no tienen que llevar a sus casas. Este es el momento de darle respuestas al país, a las más de 180.000 madres y mujeres que en estos 13 años han perdido a sus hijos, a sus esposos, a sus padres y a los cuales no se les ha hecho justicia. Esto es lo que queríamos escuchar, la Venezuela decente y la que no quiere definitivamente avanzar hacia el comunismo. Quiere respeto a la propiedad y queremos una Venezuela de solidaridad, una Venezuela de justicia, una Venezuela de superación.
Por favor.
¿Cómo puede usted hablar de que respeta al sector privado en Venezuela cuando se ha dedicado a expropiar, que es robar? Cuando se ha dedicado a insultar, sí, las propiedades de empresarios, comerciantes, hasta pequeños posadas a quienes ni siquiera se le han resarcido su propiedad. Dígale la verdad a Venezuela. Aquí hay una Venezuela decente que quiere una transformación profunda y que es el momento de enfrentar con seriedad y con responsabilidad este desafío histórico que tenemos por delante. El tiempo se les acabó. Es el momento de una nueva Venezuela. Sí, acepte el debate, presidente.
Bien. Yo primero le sugiero que gane las primarias, ¿verdad? Gane usted las primarias. Es lo primero que tiene que hacer, porque está fuera de ranking para debatir conmigo. Está fuera de ranking. Lo lamento mucho. Lo lamento mucho. Pero esa es la verdad. Ya que usted me llamó hasta ladrón, así me llamó ladrón delante del país, no la voy yo a ofender. Águila no caza mosca.
Alrighty, so it goes on with Chavez making various promises that never came to pass. But I gotta say, for those of you that need a little context, although the subtitles kind of give it, she's basically calling him out for the government of Venezuela basically seizing property from private businesses, private people, and then pointing to apparently there were milk shortages that were happening at that time due to the government seizures of such and such, and she called them out live en vivo. And
Badass.
well, and you got to understand, this is a regime that historically, if you speak out against them, I mean, you're obviously punished, but and you'll see this comes up later, but like you may not make it out of that exchange alive. Like this is a regime and a continuing regime that disappears people fairly regularly. You know,
Yeah, so kind of a
they don't
scary
want you
thing
to
to
it's more impressive than your average American walking up and being like, Biden's stupid, you know, because we can do that
right.
here and we take that for granted. Because yeah, it's nothing for us to walk up to a politician and be like, "You're fucking stupid, and I think you should get out of office." Da, 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 da. We forget that in a lot of other places around the world, that'll get shot. It absolutely will.
People forget that.
But I
Get
do want
tough
to
on
take,
the internet.
yeah, for real, keyboard warriors. But I do want to take a moment to extend some thanks to our friends at Vizard.ai for facilitating that. That made the translation process much, much easier. I didn't have to go in and manually subtitle it myself. That would have taken a long time. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that. So a quick word from them, and we will get back into her background.
Stop wasting your time on manually editing your videos. The secret AI tool will do the work for you. One of the best things about it is that it gives your video the potential to go viral. Visit this page, sign in, create a project by clicking on this button. Choose a video that you want to use. Click on the AI clip button. Wait for the magic. It is scanning through the video and looking for the parts that has the potential to go viral. Instead of editing the video by yourself, it does the work for you. It even generates headline and captions which fit your video. Another surprise is that they generate video description or social post for you to use. Once done, click Export to Post.
Thank you again for our friends at Vizard.ai. If you'd like to get started, especially if you create media content like we do, first link in the description. They will set you up. It's one of the more affordable services. There's a lot of services like Vizard, but not all of them have all the tools that Vizard does. And honestly, I was just telling Eric off air that I was approached by another service to try their product out, and I saw their pricing, and I said, guys, I already have a service, and it's literally a fourth of what you guys charge on your annual subscription. So thanks, but no thanks. So now we're getting to the juicy part where she starts getting in trouble for being, you know, a thorn in Hugo Chavez's ass. She was invited to and accepted a role as an alternate representative for Panama to address the Organization of American States, the OAS, about human rights abuses in Venezuela. When she did that, the Chavista dominated Federal Assembly invoked Articles 149 and 191 of the Constitution to claim that she violated her duties by acting on behalf of a foreign government. Specifically, Article 149 states that officials cannot accept foreign positions without legislative approval, and Article 191, National Assembly members cannot hold dual public positions. It's not a government position, though. So there's some gray area there, but basically, just about everyone agrees that this was politically motivated to get her out of office, and she was removed from office in what year was that? 2014. Yep. So in 2012, going back a bit, she founded the Vente Venezuela Party, a liberal pro democracy, market oriented party advocating institutional reform and personal freedom. And she continues to face electoral registration blocks from the current Maduro regime. She ran for president of Venezuela in 2012 and she received 3.8% of the votes, which is more than you would have thought she would have gotten. And we also know that Venezuela has a very long and storied history of corrupt presidential elections. So who knows? how much she actually got, but that was the reported. She is between the years 2014 and 2020. She's been the frequent subject of investigations, travel bans, state media censorship, but she has nonetheless retained grassroots and international support. So this is where we get into the more recent stuff. So in 2023, the Controller General barred her from public office for 15 years, accusing her of supporting foreign sanctions and of financial ties to Juan Guaido's interim government, which, to give you some added context for El Señor Guaido, uh, he is a member of the Popular Will Party who emerged as a leading figure in 2019 during that particular presidential crisis. The National Assembly, in January 23rd of 2019, the National Assembly declared Maduro's 2018 election void and appointed Guaido as interim president, citing Articles 233 and 333 and 350 of their constitution. Over 60 nations recognized him as Venezuela's legitimate leader. And let's see. By late 2022, major opposition parties voted to dissolve the interim government, creating a 5-member commission to manage foreign assets instead. And by April 2023, he had fled to the United States to avoid arrest. And in October 2023, Maduro's regime charged him with money laundering and treason. So she was attached to him politically. And as of right now, Machado is working within the broader anti-Maduro coalition, but maintained her own distinct brand, that of a liberal, direct, and less dependent on foreign endorsement. When the Guaido project collapsed, she became the de facto leader of the reorganized opposition. So as of today, she is continually under threat of violence and death. Quote, death to Maria Corina graffiti is common, particularly in Taqueria, which I guess is a city. There was an attempted home invasion on her home in February of 2025. Many of her key aides and friends have been arrested on fabricated charges, and she had a brief detention during January 2025 protests in Chacao. She is currently in hiding somewhere in Venezuela. Her location is undisclosed, and I'll be honest, I think that's fucking brave, but she probably can't leave. And she is continuing to direct Vente Venezuela remotely. Many of her advisors operate from Colombia, Spain, and the United States. And that brings us to her winning the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize. So, like I say, you can agree to disagree at many, many points, but to say that she's undeserving would be unfair. And I would also like to remind people, Trump's peace deal is going to last longer than a year. So I think next year,
Exactly.
after it's proved itself a little bit too.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Because
it's got to be proven first.
Well,
it's already off to a rocky start.
Well, and they just announced it too. Like it's not unfair, but it's like this just happened, so it almost is like he almost missed the qualification date anyway, because they announced it they announced the winner a few days after the peace plan was rolled out. So so they've been deliberating for quite a while now. By the same token, some people just can't help themselves. Because I guess they asked, I don't know what you would call him, the representative, I guess, of the Nobel Committee, why they didn't give it to Donald Trump, and he just couldn't help himself. It's like something to the effect of, we only give it to people with dignity and compassion. And it's like, God damn, you just can't fucking help yourselves.
And the funny thing is, Jake doesn't want you to make him defend Trump.
I don't. It so angers me. I don't want to defend this guy. But at the same time, The truth is the truth, and
I've been trying to say that for the longest time. I'm like, man, don't make me defend the guy because I will, because I'll just bring up truth.
because it's
That's it.
just the facts, right? And it's like, I'm sorry, I can't help but notice a distinct lack of, well, anything from the pro-Palestine crowd lately.
Yeah, what's
They've
going
been
on with that?
awful. They've been awfully quiet.
Since Trump supposedly freed Palestine.
The memes have been wonderful.
They have been too, because everybody's all like, "Oh, free Palestine" for like 2 years, and then Trump's just like, "Yeah, I did that."
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Supposedly,
but
I
it
mean, we'll see.
just goes to what many people have been saying for years, is that the vast majority of these activists, because I'm not saying, like, if you supported Palestine, I'm not saying you're in this camp necessarily. I'm talking about the activists, the people that yell, scream, kick, and get on boats paid for by Hamas billionaires to pretend like they're sending aid, but then when your boat gets seized because you violate legal, mind you, a legal blockade, they don't find any aid on your boat. I'm talking about those people. You get the thing that you've been screaming for. You got your ceasefire, but because it came from Trump, you're either silent or actively bitching about it. Like, well, that's not the peace we wanted.
I didn't want it from you.
I didn't want it from you.
We wasted the good surprise on you.
We wasted the good peace deal on you. It's like, God damn it,
Man,
people.
I mean, I hope he can get some things right. I'm
I
still
mean,
bitching and moaning about how it is here at home.
I'm under no
Ex-
illusions. I'm under no illusions, though. I don't expect Trump to get the Nobel Peace Prize. Politically, it's that's not, as we've said for years. This is one of those cases. Trump is his own worst enemy. But it is worth noting. It is worth noting that the 2025 winner had a call with President Trump and publicly stated that he deserved to win it. The only thing that kind of tripped me up, which this is just the Trump administration as a whole, is, Trump has an opportunity to be a great asset and ally to democracy in a country that has a lot of problems under a dictatorial government, but he's stepping on his own dick because he just can't help himself, because he just has to. I don't want to say it's racist, but I mean, it's really hard to say it's not. It's really hard to say it's not. Trump's weird relationship with Venezuela and the Venezuelan people is like, it's enough to make your head explode, because this is a guy whose own government has, we went over it in a past episode, a travel advisory that basically tells people don't fucking go, you might die. But at the same time is trying to deport a few 100,000 people that fled the political violence and the economic upheaval and were granted status by the United States government through parole programs, through temporary protected status, many of whom have valid work permits, have valid social security numbers that are paying taxes, but will never get social security because they don't qualify for it with the social security card that they have. These people are not eligible for government services unless they're from through the individual state where they just so happen to live, but that's a state issue, not a federal issue. And the fact that Trump has economic sanctions against the country of Venezuela and is actively having our military patrol its waters, or not its waters, but in the Caribbean, looking for boats coming from there, and at the same time is the largest purchaser of Venezuelan oil right now. I don't get it. I just want it to make sense,
how are they so poor if we're buying their oil?
because the money goes to the government, not to the people. It's a legit socialist economy. The government redistributes services, and it's not.
Imagine that.
Yeah, well, I mean that
Imagine that.
yeah, that's a whole
The
nother.
government taking advantage of people. Imagine that.
Well, but that's what Machado is calling for. She's calling for that kind of decentralization. She's calling for that restoration of private property and free markets.
We have idiots in this country who believe
want
that
that.
that's the way to go. It's like,
Yeah,
dude, like
that
you
want
have
that.
literal people fighting for their freedom, and yet you're bitching about it on your iPhone while
Fighting
sipping
and
your fucking
dying.
latte.
Fighting and dying. Some of these people that were caught at those protests are, well, we don't know if they're dead because
They
we
have
don't.
real problems, not just anxiety.
Yeah, but like we don't know where they are. Um,
I'm not saying
I
anxiety is not a real problem, but still, you
well,
get
but
the
I mean,
different.
it's subject to gradation. Um, and I've met people not just from Venezuela, but I've met people who, um, literally, if they were to go back to their home countries,
They die.
it's likely, it's very likely, um, like to the point where, and it's not just Venezuela. I met people from Afghanistan too, ironically, and the not ironically, that's the wrong word. Um, no, we'll just leave it at I've met people from Afghanistan, Haiti. They can't go back for different reasons. One's governmental, one's gang related, but like they cannot go back. This is not optional for them. And I don't know. I'd like to know when. Well, actually, I know when because, as I often say, the current immigration problem, well, really, the current governmental problems are as much, if not more, the fault of the previous administration because Trump 2.0 as an administration is nothing but a reaction. It's a reaction to the Biden administration, kind of like how the first Trump administration was a reaction to the Obama administration. But it's it's hard to argue against them on certain things because at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day rather, they have a point. It's just the way they're going about it because what should be a measured response is not. And to be fair, part of the reason why they're steamrolling all this stuff through is because they know that the minute the other party gets back in power, it's all going to be undone anyway.
I don't think they're gonna get back in power, dude.
Oh, they are. It's coming. It's coming hardcore.
I don't know.
It's
Since the
coming.
government shut down, dude, like, have you noticed the skies have been so blue? I'm not
That's
shitting
just
you, dude.
that's
Like
just your inner Ron Swanson.
the skies have been so blue since the government's been shut down, and I'm telling you what, dude,
Slash it.
it's beautiful.
Slash it. Well, I mean, it's easy for us to say that, but we're not military families that aren't getting paid. We're not, you know, national park workers that aren't getting paid. We're not air traffic controllers that are still going to work and not getting paid. Like, don't get me wrong, the government is bloated and needs to be whittled down. I even said today, I was like, you know what
And
though? Everybody who's mad about Trump's overreach, which don't get me wrong, there are certainly areas that even I consider overreach. Um, it goes back earlier, but probably the biggest tipping point is George W. Bush, all the way back in 2001 with the Patriot Act. Maybe that was 2002 by the time they got passed, but you know what I mean. Like,
well, I was just gonna say with all the tariffs collected, they can float some programs too and get some people paid too. Trump already announced that he was
yeah,
gonna
that's
do
what he's
something
saying,
like
but
that.
like here's the thing. And before, because you're I know you're gonna call me out on this, but I have to finish the thought. So the problem with the kind of tariffs that he's levying, they're going and they already are hurting the American consumer. They are hurting the American farmer because the first round of Trump tariffs, I think, were great because it was a scalpel, not a sled. It was a scalpel, not a chainsaw. But we're going full bore chainsaw. We're going the machine from Fern Gully right now because like that's not going to work. Well, it's how do I say this? It's going to impact the American consumer much more negatively than benefit them because a lot of the things being tariffed, we don't have an American alternative, at least not yet, and that's going to take some time.
Like
My
what?
well, my industry, for example, so the dirty little secret about cabinets and furniture, really, just as a general rule, is American manufacturers either suck or are really expensive. Really expensive. Most of them just suck. Because I'll tell you right now, like we import, they're not coming from China anymore, but we used to import cabinets from China, and the quality was better than what you're getting from American manufacturers, and it was literally half the price, and it was
Yeah,
better
that
shit.
slave labor, dog.
Hey, I mean, I'm just saying, like, so if you're okay with paying upwards of 50% more for certain goods, then hats off to you. But
And
here's,
by all means, you don't support slave labor.
well, they're not coming out of China anymore.
I know.
Which is that's why I liked the first round of Trump tariffs, because they were targeted at China. And what did all these companies do? They set up shop elsewhere. They set up shop in Mexico, Vietnam. Vietnam grew huge. Vietnam, Thailand, South Korea, Malaysia, bunch of countries that wanted more manufacturing, got more manufacturing, raised wages everywhere that they went because more jobs were available. It was good. And the shit coming out was even better. Like I saw a marked increase in quality and packaging when they moved certain manufacturers moved to Mexico. It was better shit. The problem we have now, I don't really disagree with the Chinese tariffs, although it's somebody I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, well, it's not really hurting China all that much because they're just exporting to the rest of the world. And I'm like, but you can't trust what China says, because China is one of the better bullshitters of the world. They're hurting. They got to be hurting, because the United States is was their largest, I think probably still is their largest customer of imported goods. And while we're talking about the evils of China, like I legitimate companies like Temu. That's why I stopped using Wish, dude. When I found out how those companies work and how they exploit our import laws to undercut, and like they're designed to undercut other manufacturers. And I just said, fuck you guys. And then plus the fact that you steal all of our information and fucking sell it. Like, no. So I stopped using them. But that's just China. If I found another site that was from any other country that didn't do that shit, I'd use it in a heartbeat. Because unfortunately, American manufacturing, for the most part, there's some stuff that we make that is both necessary and better quality made here. But like, bro, you can't tell me now that you would rather buy an American car over an imported car.
I definitely want to buy an American dishwasher over a Chinese dishwasher.
Well, it depends what kind of dishwasher, what brand.
I can't remember what this brand was, but the house I just sold, it had the best dishwasher, and we have one in this house, and it's, dude, it's night and day difference. And the other one
You know
said
what's
"Made in
funny?
America" on it.
You know what's funny? I've actually found that dishwashers and really appliances are one of the few things that I have found that made in America is legitimately better. Because like I swear by Whirlpool.
I can't speak for everything, but at least I know that.
Bro, like for example, which Samsung's Korea, but still South Korea. But Samsung appliances fucking blow, dude. They don't last. I've had good luck with LG though. That's another South Korean company. I've had good luck with LG electronics and appliances, but Samsung, bro, they make good
Dude, I'm a
well, they make good electronics when they don't set on fire.
TVs, dude. I just buy the TCL.
Dude, I'm a big
They're
I
so
like
cheap, but they're huge.
bro. I've said this for years. I'm a
Vizio
Vizio
is
guy.
good.
Well,
Mhm.
because Vizio, don't remember if I read that they're made in the same factory as Sony, but they're very similar. And I love Sony electronics, but they're expensive. So Vizio is kind of like the not poor man's, but
Knockoff Sony.
yeah, a little bit. Because and I also
Okay.
I like the color quality. You know,
So it's like Fruit Loops and Fruit Rounds.
same different but same.
No, no, be there.
You know, but you know what else that you want to really make sure that you have, both when you're just shopping online for appliances or when you're trying to take down a corrupt regime. No matter where you are, you need good internet, and that is why our other friends at God, I'm so horrible at this. I'm so terrible. Nomad, our friends at Nomad are here to offer you, whether you live way out in the sticks or whether you're a globetrotter, Nomad can hook you up. And here is a quick word from them.
Living in rural areas? Or are you always on the road? Experiencing a slow internet connection? Worry no more. Get the Nomad Air modem with a 5G unlimited plan. Our compact modem provides quick, reliable, and secure 5G 4G LTE connectivity. Connects up to 30 devices at once. Pause or suspend your plans anytime through the Nomad app. Excellent internet connectivity for rural areas residents and on-the-road traveler. For more details, please visit nomadinternet.com and check out our plans.
Definitely check out Nomad. And if you use the link in the description, you get your Omen modem for free. So that's nothing. And actually, we know a guy that has Nomad internet and can tell you how reliable it is. Eric, tell him how great it is.
The upload speed has gotten pretty decent. I was not happy with it at first, but it has gotten significantly better. And the download speed is always consistent. Like very rare outages, even during storms, it still has full connectivity. I have had very few issues, not too much, but just setting it up was a little hard. But you guys, it's not hard. If you want me to do a full tutorial on what to do, like this video and let me know in the comments.
Actually, I'm just going to call it and say just do that anyway.
I know, but I figured, get more likes on this.
Yeah, get more likes on it. Which actually, there's some stuff coming down the pipe. I don't know exactly when, but more stuff from Average Intelligence and the broader Arate family. So look out for that. We will be making announcements. But let's see. So yeah, I don't know. I've kind of been wrestling for the past couple of days, and especially learning more about Machado. God, I really do just forget. Yeah, Machado, Maria Corina Machado. I don't want to say that I'm going back and forth because I feel like there should be multiple Nobel Peace Prizes. It should be something where it's like it's not just one person, but it's just like, you know what? You deserve one. You deserve one.
You get a car. You get a car.
Well, no, but think about it. The concept, I get why there's one Nobel Prize for like science. But even, you know what? I'm going to retract my statement. I don't even think that's true because you're telling me that if we had in the same year that we had somebody find a legitimate cure for cancer and somebody that discovered how to travel faster than light, that both those fuckers don't deserve a Nobel Prize for science. How are you going to pick
You know,
one?
I don't know, but supposedly there is a cancer cure. Did you I can't remember what I read, but
There's a
I'd
bunch
have
of
to look it up.
therapies that they're working, which is,
Yeah.
that's this
I'm
is
like, imagine that. They're making the body kill the cancer. Ho ho.
well
It's like
this
what
and
is designed to
here's
do?
here's the thing. So this is the real average intelligence coming out. This is like what did I say that one time about growing something in a lab? What was I saying? It was one of the
Oh,
dumbest things I've ever said.
uh
It was an
plastic?
element. It was an element. But okay. So regardless, I said, why don't they just make it? You can totally make it in a lab. Well, it turns out you can actually. It just the energy consumption is, which by the way, thank you to that chemist who came and defended me in the comments. He was like, actually, you can do it. It's just that it's not feasible to do because it takes a lot of energy to do so. So
Can't remember that.
I don't remember what element I said. It wasn't carbon because I made the
Because you
example.
said you literally specifically said can they synthesize it in a lab?
I don't
I
remember what it
think.
was. Because I was thinking diamonds, but you have to start with carbon. So you have the base. That's how you can make really any gemstone. But you have to start with the base elements
I
of it.
can't remember.
I can't remember what it was. It wasn't helium. Maybe it was helium.
Mm-mm.
I can't
I don't think
remember.
it
But
was
anyway,
helium.
no, I don't think it was. But
I
re-
digress.
regardless, it was something stupid that I said, and I'm about to say something even dumber. Um, You would think as much as we know about cancer, though, and I understand there's different kinds, which is probably the reason why we haven't really been able to, narrow it down. But you would think, and you got to think that something's coming down the pipe where you can use like nanobots or some shit. And because right now, basically, what we do is we either remove the cancerous piece or we fucking irradiate it until it dies or becomes Godzilla, one of the two.
Well, I mean, if you want to fix cancer, get all the chemicals and stuff out of our food.
Well, but cancer is
All the stuff out of our skies, all the stuff out of our, like, I know a lot of people don't believe in the chemtrails and whatnot, but like, dude, that stuff's like, it is real. They do spray things in the clouds. It's called cloud seeding. They just don't believe it's nefarious or anything like that. I don't think it's nefarious either. I just don't think it's smart putting silver iodide in the clouds and it rained down on us. Like that doesn't sound, good. And on top of that, like it's all environmental. Like
well, but
I
this
think
this
cancer is
goes
environmental.
yeah, well, it certainly exacerbates it. There's no debate about that.
Yeah, I'm
The
not saying
actual
it doesn't exist naturally. I'm just saying
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
that's the thing.
amplified
It's
and the
a
body's able to deal with it.
well, if you have it at all. But my where was I going with this? So
Sorry, you had a point.
I totally. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. This goes back to the whole fluoride in water thing, where I think the question, because nobody's asking the right question. I don't think that you could just by default be like, yeah, we should totally have this amount of fluoride in our drinking water today without asking the questions. But at the same time, I don't think we should just be willy-nilly trying to just take it all out without doing any research, because when it comes to certain chemicals, it's all about dosage. We found this out with a number of drugs like AZT during the beginning of the AIDS epidemic.
Are you
AZT,
talking about for withdrawals?
no, fluoride.
No, get fluoride out of the water. It has no
Well, no,
business
but
being there.
it does though. It does though.
No, it has no business being there.
It does.
All you need is a disinfecting agent. So that's not
No, no, no,
fluoride.
no. That's not why fluoride's in the water.
Why is fluoride in the water? To make people fucking crazy?
No, dental health.
Oh, dude, fuck that noise.
I brother, look at the data when they started
Uh,
when they started and to clean the water too. It is a cleaning agent, but it all comes down to dosage, because we had this conversation about chlorine, right? And the amount of chlorine you would have to drink in order for not even deadly for it to be toxic to you is like hundreds of times what is necessary to clean
But
water.
also, to be fair, think of a pipe like in your house.
Hmm.
Just because that you put let's say you live out in the country like I do. Say that you put iron out inside your water softener.
Hmm.
Iron out is a chemical that helps, it basically attaches to the iron and kind of it passes without you noticing it. It kind of camouflages it and it passes. But anyway, so imagine that pipe. It seems like it's clean because the iron out, right? But in all reality, there is iron still getting trapped in there as well. So therefore, the pipe eventually gets clogged or eroded. So I mean that's the same with our bodies. Just because we can handle a little bit of those chemicals doesn't mean that over time it doesn't eventually end up as cancer or autoimmune or any of those other things. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's the only cause, but I'm just saying like it's like even with pharmaceuticals, like they destroy your stomach, they destroy your liver, they destroy your kidneys and stuff like this. If you have to take them, but like if it's life saving and it helps you, take the fucking drugs.
Well, and
But
here I'm
if
gonna
it's not,
yeah. Well, and here I'm gonna use the cancer example
that's
again.
why I
So it's
use
like
real cancer or real medicine. Jesus
that's
Christ, I
why I
can't talk.
use real cancer.
Real cannabis.
No, but so using the can like chemotherapy, legitimately, it kills everything. That's what it does. However, like everything,
Everything.
yeah, but let's go back to the when it comes to, and I'm not saying that fluoride should be in water necessarily. I'm just saying that we should really try to figure it out, because I'm also curious. I just thought of this. Um, I wish I should have looked this up beforehand, but I didn't think about it. When did they really start switching over to plastic pipes? And what kind of,
PVC,
yeah, PVC. And what's
probably
that?
early 70s.
And what's that doing?
Exactly. PVC pipes, but at the same time, those older pipes, they are rusted and that does
Yeah,
cause
and but that
issues.
it's a
Everything
cost
has its
it's a
just due.
cost benefit analysis. And when you're
Exactly.
talking about sweeping protocol, you have to go with the largest common denominator. So basically what I'm getting at is I think we should always be continuing to try to improve things, to find different ways of doing things we've been doing. Like for example, less harsh chemicals. Like look at cleaners today versus, even even 10 years ago. Like, you know how hard it is to find a cleaner that actually has bleach in it now? Like you have to actively look for it. And that's
Dude,
because
Bleach was invented as a freaking chemical. It was chemical warfare.
I'm not surprised.
And it's crazy. And now we use it to clean our sinks
Well,
and freaking tubs
but not.
because they realized of the disinfectant, natural,
Yeah.
not natural, but the disinfectant properties of it.
Well, but
So
they've come out with so many other cleaners that clean. I'm not going to say they clean just as well as bleach, but they get the job done, and they're a lot less toxic. Like a lot of the stuff
mhm.
is animal safe, and it cleans just fine. Like if you got a really really strong job, you can always get some bleach and take it out, but you don't have to clean with it every day anymore. Is what I'm getting at. And like hand sanitizer, just straight up alcohol. Who'd have thought? And it's safe.
Well, another thing is though, I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, not honest, but kind of critical. Um, if you're near a bathroom with soap, don't use hand sanitizer. Like it does affect your own your natural what is it? Your own bacteria, so like the more you use it, the good bacteria on your hands, whatnot. So yeah, don't do that. Wash your
Well,
hands with
because
soap as much as you can, but if you're in a position where you need sanitizer, use sanitizer.
it's again, it's time and place. What do you have available? What's the lesser of two evils? Oh,
I
I'm
know, but
just
there are people out there, dude. They'll just be like, "Oh no, I got my sanitizer. I don't need to wash my hands." I'm like, "Those fragments are still on your hands, Becky. The chicken
well,
never left."
well, not only that though is the fact that, just like chemotherapy, alcohol just kills everything. It's not targeted.
Well, you know, chemotherapy. I wonder if it, what its effect is on parasites. Like, I
I
want to see a
believe it
study
kills
about
the
that.
bastards, but I
I want to believe that, but I'm saying there are some, there's things out there that can
but the thing
survive
is
anything.
you would never use chemotherapy for a parasite because there are much less harsh methods to get rid of
No,
parasites than
no, and
chemotherapy.
I agree with you, but I was kind of segueing a little bit there to basically say that a lot of cancer is parasites, and I've been reading up on it, and I'm not saying all of it is
Well, and
because like obviously
that's
there's
why
different things.
it's hard to talk about cancer because cancer
It's
is
not
not
that
one thing. It's
Well,
a lot of
it's not that the parasites are cancer, like per se. It's that they're byproduct, they're waste. Because the thing is, whether you want to admit it or not, if you have parasites, they pee and poop inside of you. That's just the way it is. So their byproduct, whatever waste, whatever you want to call it, is cancerous. It's
Mhm.
not that it causes cancer because they're in there, it's because of their waste. Obviously. So, and a lot of people don't realize that we should detox every so often. And actually, I've got another sponsor that I figure we can add. It's called Earthly Wellness, and they do tinctures and whatnot. And Sasha has a link, and I'll get that. But
Give me that info.
honestly, I think I'm gonna either have her on, and I think we're gonna talk about this kind of stuff, and we'll do that. But is there
Well,
something wrong with your
that's
internet?
I'm still waiting. This isn't so much. Well, I guess it's an announcement for you people, but like you two are putting something together as another show on the channel, and I'm stoked for that. I think that's going to be awesome. More
We're
content for
getting
you.
there.
Yeah, and we might
And
see the
it'll
recognition.
most likely take place from here, or it might take place upstairs on the couch. I don't know. I have a
That'd be
couch in
cool.
my bedroom, dude. First time ever.
Awesome. Dude, I'm gonna be able to in my new house. I'm gonna have room to have like a small couch
Dude,
in
I
there.
saw it. That's nice.
Dude,
I
you
like
don't
it.
even know. Wait till you can physically be
Backyard,
in it.
dude.
Pictures
Yeah.
don't do it justice. Dude, it's got a built-in sled hill. Did you see that?
I guess I didn't.
You can't
But
tell from the picture, but when you walk, dude, I swear, like it goes back, I'd say probably about 20 feet, and then it just slopes. It's like a perfect sled hill because it flattens out at the edge, so like you'll stop just before you hit the fence. It's dope. I cannot wait.
dude, yeah.
Yeah, I cannot wait. But since we're talking about other topics now, let us know in the comments, which I already know what most of you are going to say, is Trump doesn't deserve it, blah, 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 which we'll see because, like Eric pointed out before we went live, there's already potential cracks forming in the peace settlement, but that's not the fault of the peace settlement. That's the fault of the people that are supposed to be upholding the peace settlement. And
And I actually said that to someone because they were like, "Oh no," and I was like, "Well, it's actually this country's fault." or not country, state.
It's this group of people's fault. But
Both of them.
as I've always said, if you're dealing with rational people, then you don't need peace agreements because rational people can rationalize and,
Be
figure out
peaceful.
their different, yeah, and be peaceful. It's so, which Trump figured that out. Trump was not afraid to do the peace through strength thing and essentially say, you're going to be peaceful or else. Because unfortunately, when you're dealing with unreasonable people, you have to be an unreasonable person yourself.
I'm just gonna tell him I'm taking the belt off. I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I'm going to take the belt off. I'm going to put
Daddy's
you
gonna
over
whoop
my
your
knee
ass.
and I'm going to whoop your ass. Well, oh God, I almost forgot our special guest for next week,
Oh
which
yeah.
because I'm terrible with names. Like I'm horrible with names when I'm on a podcast. I can remember song lyrics and movie lines from all of the 90s, but ask me who's coming on next week. We have a very special guest next week. Lisa Ekman will be joining us to talk about her book. Son of a bitch.
I checked out her website.
Let's see.
I know it was I think leaving the
Oh, she didn't say the
Democrat.
name. I have it though. Where is it?
I thought the book was for sale in her store.
It is. She didn't have the name of it in her email. See, we're real professional here.
Super professional.
So there we go.
She's gonna get on and be like, wow, I thought this was actually a good setup. These guys they don't know what they're doing.
She's seen the show. She knows she knows what we're about. We're going to talk about her book, Deprogramming Democrats and Uneducating the Elites, and how I escaped the progressive cult. I'm super stoked to talk to her.
I can't wait to ask her questions.
Oh, dude, it's going to be
I'm just gonna ask her questions and just let her go.
yeah, exactly.
That's basically what it's gonna be next week. Is we're gonna
you're
be
gonna
asking
hear
questions and
you're going to hear very little from us that week, which I didn't want to have her on this week because I knew I had to leave, which I have to leave in 3 minutes, so we'll get off here anyway. But I
3 minutes of playtime. Oh yeah.
I got you for 3 minutes. I've actually changed my Macho Man because I heard a comedian talk about how he did his. And I'm like, wow, that's going to be so much easier on my voice. He talks about, yeah, the key to do Macho Man is you just throw it in the back, yeah. And the secret is it's Macho Man, old school Macho Man, talks like a dad who's about to lose his patience, but it's holding it together, yeah. And he's like, I told you to pick up your toys, yeah. I'm like, wow, that's so much easier on my that's so much easier on my voice. Because the other one I
See,
usually
that's
just
what
throw
good
whatever.
voice actors do. They learn how to change their voice versus like harsh changes. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
He's got to get going. So everybody, have a good one.
Like, share, subscribe, and join us next week. You don't want to miss it because it's going to be a great conversation. But until then, hopefully you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent. Today you might be. Today you might be. Today was a good one. Maybe a smidge. Maybe a smidge. Or at least you know more about Venezuelan politics than you did yesterday. So join us next week, and we will see you guys then.